Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Rose Wright and I write and narrate Miraculous Ladybug fanfiction. Thank you so much for 500 subscribers. You guys are amazing. Also, thank you to Cameron who will be voicing Plag. If you've missed the previous 4 parts of this series, I will have them linked in the description box below. Now then, enjoy a miraculous search. Chapter 5. Marinette hadn't left her house in several weeks. Bags and tears lined her dark blue eyes, her face constantly drained of color. It had been nearly a month since Adrien's death. It still didn't feel real. Her phone lived on silence as she attempted to block out the rest of the world. Everyone understood. They gave her space, which Marinette was thankful for. The only beings she had talked to were Tiki and Plag. None of this makes sense. I've been racking my brain for weeks, and I can't think of any reason why Hawk Moth would want to kill his son, Marinette said, not directly to anyone, mostly just thinking aloud.
Marinette, I got to see Gaby up close. He isn't a picnic to be around.
Plag indulged in his breakfast, consisting of nothing but camembert, and a lot of it. Yeah, but murder? Marinette simply couldn't understand that. There was no excuse. You have every right to be angry, Marinette. We are too. Do you think that maybe this was all an accident? A really terrible accident? Yes, Gabriel Agreste is an awful person, but maybe his intention wasn't murder. Tiki was sweet. She always wanted to believe in the good inside others, even people like Hawk Moth. Maybe. I don't know, Tiki. Marinette turned in her bed, unable to get comfortable. Adrien was his only family. I just don't understand. She closed her eyes, hoping to be taken by sleep, until a thought popped into her mind. Gabriel said he did all of this to save his family, but he ended up killing the last of his family. Unless, that's it. Killing Adrien wasn't intentional. It was a means to an end, a way to get their Miraculous for good. Marinette shot up out of bed, startling the near-sleeping Kwamis. Her face was drenched with sweat, breathing labored.
What's the big idea?
Plag moaned, rubbing his large eyes. Emilie. It was all Marinette could say. She was alive. She didn't know how she knew, but she was certain. Emilie Agreste was alive, and Hawk Moth's ultimate plan was to save her by making a wish. Of course. Emilie? Tiki chirped through a yawn. Adrien's mother. She's alive. I need to speak to Hawk Moth. You want to do what? Alya shrieked, pounding her fists into Marinette's kitchen table. Alix sat in the seat beside her, leaning back in her chair, feet on the table. All of the Kwamis were busy eating and flying around the small apartment. I know it's a long shot, but I've got to try. Alix, using Burrow we can go back in time. Marinette's bluebell eyes looked fiery underneath her thick bangs. Duh, isn't it obvious? Alix responded flippantly. Marinette pulled at some loose strands of her hair in frustration. No one was taking this seriously. Don't you get it? We have a way to save Adrien. Why would I not try anything to bring him back? Marinette stood from her chair, leaning over the table, her eyes filled with tears. Alix and Alya exchanged glances, sadness in their eyes. Yeah, I guess. But what if it doesn't work? I'm not banking on any what-ifs. This has to work. Adrien can't just be gone. Marinette fell back into her seat, looking distraught. The girls hated seeing their friend like this. Adrien's death has been hard on all of Paris, but while the world had seemed to move on, Marinette couldn't. Ever. Especially when there was a way to fix everything. She had to try. If she didn't, she'd never forgive herself. Alya went to her best friend's side, pulling her into a hug, stroking her hair. What's the plan? Are you going to visit him in jail, and what? Confront him? Alya's voice was gentle. Her heart ached for Marinette. Marinette sat up, wiping her eyes. I think that's my only option. Girl, we've got your back. Alya smiled at her, and Alix, now sitting up in her chair, nodded. Marinette smiled wearily, holding up a hand. No. I've got to do this on my own. I have to talk to Gabriel Legrest. I have to talk to Hawk Moth. Thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed this, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Stay miraculous!